Thanks for having us here today to present our Wilam Ngarrang housing project. That is not and just some context, we think this is the only retrofit you're seeing in this category today, and we think it's an important thing to note. Building new stuff alone is not going to solve our housing issues. We need to expand the understanding of working on what working on multi-residential architecture includes, and we think it's an opportunity for the awards program to have a big impact. Successful multi-residential retrofit is not just about tech and performance, it requires feeling and atmosphere. There's an enormous role here for architects. The building was named Wilam Ngarrang by the Wurundjeri Land Council, meaning a place of reflection or thought. They also had Wurundjeri artist Alex Kerr paint a mural which leads residents down to the communal space. Two of the apartments are being rented at below market rate to help those struggling to enter the rental market. So to start with, the existing building was a Fitzroy apartment block, 3 stories, 15 identical bed sits. The purpose of transforming it was to create an example for others to follow. They're really trying to get this one out there, as sharing as much information as possible. It was to be a replicable model which is sustainable, comfortable, and reduces costs for tenants. It makes their life a bit nicer too. It was a fast model which didn't require a long town planning process or a long construction process. The building had good bones but was in poor condition, leading to uncomfortable living conditions and high energy bills. The key targets for the project, which is a team on one of the apartments, were net positive energy, minimising grid water demands, approaching zero waste operations, minimising carbon in construction, and approaching zero waste construction. And to do these sorts of, unusual extra tasks, we needed an unusual and custom process, so we didn't follow conventional methods. The design team was non-hierarchical, with Kennedy Nolan, Finding Infinity, Wilderness Building Company, the client and their project manager all working together to propose solutions. The aim was for as little design as possible. This is not heroic architecture. We had to prioritise our interventions with an emphasis on retaining and reusing existing fabric. We had to be strategic. We had to make a case for them to the team using these sorts of sketches. And we had to put our egos aside when not all of them made it in. In the end, doors and windows were replaced. We massively improved air tightness, got rainwater collection happening, roof and wall insulation, efficient fittings, 33 kilowatt solar, and heat recovery in all units.
Okay, I'm going to fly. We'll talk through the plan. Lower ground, old asphalt car park was converted into shared facilities and a garden. On ground level, the entry from King William Street's amplified and the apartments make a relationship with the little private garden courtyards, which wasn't there before. First and second floor apartments are reworked and the old laundries at the end of the upgraded hallways become little sitting rooms. Pretty simple. So making a home, importantly, there's also an emphasis on creating a sense of domestic comfort, on making places for people which are warm, welcoming and beautiful in their own modest way. So there's our old plan, and here's the intervention, which looks pretty simple, but it had a lot of work done on it. So in spaces tight, often the focus is in shrinking the typical, resulting in lots of tiny complex items. Here we've aimed for a few big moves with generous scale being efficient and not a mini house. These were early. We always whack these ones in because they're so like actually what came out the other end. We've been given careful thought to household storage, working in a small but deep kitchen, and potential furniture layouts from future residents. These bedsits may not have balconies, but those big sliding window units make great connection with a surprisingly treed inner city environment in this part of Fitzroy. Accepting imperfections became a bit of a mantra. Given the objectives and financial constraints, sometimes we just had to embrace the least ugly option. Those tiles still kill me when we go to site, but they were at the end of a run, they were going to go in the bin. The car park and Undercroft were perfectly located on the north of the block, and during construction it was a place where salvage materials were stored and later repurposed. the new communal laundry took this prime position and it was elevated into a social space. A large shared table made from marble offcuts provides an armature for being together. It's an opportunity to build community amongst the predominantly single-person household. On the site, landscape was privileged and augmented and includes a shared vegetable plot, hills hoist and composting for the building. Little gum saplings will one day be large gum trees, and we're not afraid of a large canopy tree in this space. I feel like we push that all the time, little things. We need some big trees in the inner city. Those little tiles that were repurposed there. Harnessing architecture to get the word out. This may be pretty obvious, but it's where this pilot project finds a platform to spread the word, and if you make something visually compelling, people tend to pay attention. Hand to Ross.
So this was one of the first projects that we've actually got built as a bigger citywide strategy to transform the entire city to become completely self-sufficient. We identified that it would be about $100 billion We identified that it would take about $100 billion to transform the whole city, and about $55 billion of that is in retrofit. So there are 1.2 million homes in Melbourne. We thought we'd start with one, or one building at least. So, and in some ways, I really like to describe this project as the sum total of a bunch of boring things to create something really radical. This is Australia's first plus energy retrofit of an apartment building. And to me, what's like incredibly exciting about it is that it's a physical example of the policy that we would like to see happen. So it's only the extremely cost-effective initiatives that we got across the line and basically nothing more. We're currently monitoring its performance and it's pretty close to getting there, but we've got some fine-tuning that we're doing along the way. So it'll be more interesting when we show you a full year's worth of performance.
What was that showing, sorry?
This is the energy that's getting imported versus exported per month, basically. So we're getting close to balancing it out, but we're still fine-tuning. To me, as Rachel mentioned, if we just did this technical retrofit and it had no design, no one would care about it. Getting this amazing group of people there for the launch, we had state government there, we had the CFMEU there, we had a whole bunch of people come, and no one commented about the performance or the technical specifications. Everyone was so excited about the purpose of the project, but it was the feeling that everyone commented on, and that was where architecture was so important in creating this project.